Hello and welcome to another Rokk video. This one, how to get XCloud to work on your PC, because currently you can have an Xbox Game Pass and you can have an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and you can download games and you can play those games perfectly well on your PC, but you do not have access to the cloud gaming service XCloud. This is a solution to that. It isn't a hack. It's totally available to anybody and everybody, but you may not have been aware of it, and I thought I would just bring it to your attention. It is a solution that can also work for Macs, but there is an issue with it, which I'll cover off in a second. So let's pop across to this site, which is BlueStacks.com, BLUESTACKS.com. This is essentially a service that provides an Android emulator, and that's how it works. So in essence, you download BlueStacks. What you end up with is an application that integrates really nicely with your PC, has a ton of features. You can connect your controllers to it, or you can even remap keys. But the key thing here is what it does is it gives you access to, as I've said, a virtual Android device in the cloud. Now, on an Android device, you can install the Game Pass app, and via the Game Pass app, you can play cloud games from your Xbox collection. So what you will need, of course, if you don't already have one, is the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Now, currently that is $1 for 1 month's trial period. I had Game Pass for PC and was able to upgrade to the Ultimate for the $1. So it is an offer that exists even if you have Game Pass already for PC. And once you have that in place, you install BlueStacks, hunt down the Game Pass app in the Android Play Store, which will be part of the emulation. It should all make perfect sense when you've installed it. And you can install it on your emulation, log in with your Game Pass Ultimate credentials, or upgrade, obviously, for the $1. And bingo, straight away, you will have access to all of your Game Pass games. Now, as I've said, I've already done this and it works really well. So I'm going to pull that up for you so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so this is essentially what you will see, and you can see here I'm actually showing you the overall game center. So this essentially is all the Android games that are available, because you can play, it's an Android emulator, so you can play Android games. They work really well as well, I have to say. But if I go across to my games, and you'll see here I've got my Game Pass, so if I fire that up, bearing in mind this is a PC, I mean it's a reasonable PC to be fair, but that doesn't matter at all. And you'll see here straight away, it's showing me all the games that I have already been playing. So these are games that I had downloaded to my PC and played. So if I, for example, click on Grounded, and we're loading in the game. This is Grounded, by the way. It's had a recent update on the platform. But you can see around the edges, there's a ton of stuff here that you can employ to improve your experience. This is Grounded. It looks really good. Syncing data. So again, it's pulling data. It knows the data that I've played when I've played it locally on my PC. That's obviously synchronized at the time of playing it with your Xbox Game Pass. And here we are, and here's the last load point. But you may have spotted that Destiny 2, for example, which is not currently available for PC, but is available for Xbox Game Pass, and that's available via this emulator. So also have access to games that you wouldn't necessarily have access to just yet on your PC, which is awesome. I'm not experiencing any lag whatsoever. I can absolutely tell you that I am moving this character to the left, the character moves to the left. It doesn't feel at all as if there's any kind of excessive latency, because, you know, you could argue that it's going via an emulator, so there's one instance of access to the servers, and then back down to us, which is 2 instances. Therefore, you'd kind of expect to see some increased latency. That it does not exist. And now for the good news. There is no cost to BlueStacks. It's completely free. They make their money, as far as I can tell, by putting adverts around the loading screen when you're loading BlueStacks, and obviously promoting games on their general home screen, which I'm happy with. It doesn't affect the game. So here, look, you can see we've got Destiny 2. So again, that is not currently available to play if you have Xbox Game Pass, but it is if you play via BlueStacks. And just to reiterate, BlueStacks is available for Mac, but the one problem that I have found with it is it does not seem to work with a controller. The problem with that is some games won't work without a controller. They don't necessarily have keyboard alternatives. They do kind of list the games that do, so things like PUBG, that works fine. So, by all means go ahead and install it. It's free. So there you go. Just to remind you, bluestacks.com. I have found absolutely no issues with this at all. It works fine. It's completely free. It's at no cost to you. You've got access to the complete library of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate titles, which is, I think, somewhere in the region of about 150 games as we speak. And obviously they're being added to at a fairly regular basis. So there you go. Enjoy your cloud gaming. I hope this works for you. And as ever, rock out.